Peace, everybody. Welcome to Capital Combat. The name says it all. I'm Hakeem Rob, and today we're going to preview this Saturday's World Championship Boxing on HBO, which has Orlando Salido defending his title against Salido-Lomachenko in only his second pro fight. And then we also have the rematch between Chavez-Vera and Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. We're going to start with the featherweight title fight, because this one is very intriguing, and we got a lot of question marks regarding our challenger. Go ahead, Rob.
So, you know, Lomachenko signed the top rank. Moving him along fast isn't even the term that you can use at this point. They was just like, all right, you look good in this fight, let's go ahead and get him a title fight. Now, I know he is an Olympic champion, Olympic gold medalist, 3-time medalist, if I'm not mistaken.
Something like that. He won like 400 fights and only lost one or something. Really crazy record.
Yeah, so at this point, it's like, well, we can fast track because he obviously has the skill and it should translate over to the pro ranks. Should? Yes. Will it? Remains to be seen. We don't really have enough of a resume to say that it will. Yeah, he had a great first fight, showed some really good skills, some power, and some nastiness. But this is different. You're talking about 3-round fights compared to anything going up to 12 rounds. And he's fighting a dude in Salido who, not only the experience, but the toughness, the relentlessness of going 12 rounds.
Yeah. Now, that's where the question marks are. We know Lomachenko's got the skill. Technically, he's better than Salido. But we don't know if he can be better than Salido for 12 whole rounds. And when you got a guy that's always in your face like Salido does, he's going to test that conditioning and he's going to test that technical skill, because one mistake will be curtains for him. We know Salido can punch. He's put many guys down and out, and he's also upset the apple cart a few times with Lopez, Robert Guerrero. Even though that fight was overturned later on, he still beat him in the ring. So that's the question mark. We got to see if Lomachenko can use that skill for 12 rounds and make this look as easy as his amateur pedigree says he should.
Yeah, Salido's going to really test Lomachenko mentally, and I know it's not quite the same because he had a few more fights, but we can compare him to Rigondeaux, who was fast tracked, but he didn't really get his title fight. So
he was like 8 or 9 fights.
Yeah, 8 or 9 fights. But we also knew he had supreme conditioning. Lomachenko, we don't really know because, again, you're talking 3-round fights as opposed to a guy who's used to going 8 to 10 rounds consistently, and consistently with the best.
Yeah.
So that's going to put a mental and physical strain on Lomachenko. He's got to keep his composure over those rounds.
Yeah.
I mean, Salido normally comes on in the second half of a fight.
Yeah.
So will Lomachenko get tired? Will he be able to sustain that output? Will he even be able to keep Salido off him? And we've seen him in the Mikey Garcia fight where, well, Mikey Garcia, again, technically better, probably stronger, definitely faster. And towards those last few rounds, you're like, okay, Salido's actually starting to land.
Yep.
And before that, that technical stoppage,
yeah,
you can see it's like, no, I want to see that last round. I want to see what's going on.
Right.
So we're going to see how that happens this time around. I see Lomachenko actually banking rounds early.
Yeah. Or he could knock out Salido early, and everything we said could not matter at all because he won't even go 12 rounds.
This is boxing. Anything can happen.
That's right. So let's move on to Chavez-Vera versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. 2. Now with this one, the first fight was very controversial. You had Chavez Jr. landing the harder shots, Vera outworking him, especially at the end of the fight. We all know about Chavez's weight issues and what led to that, his apparent lack of dedication to the sport. Will that come back? Can he do enough to get past Vera? Can Vera pull another rabbit out of his hat and pull out an upset victory like he did over Andy Lee and almost Chavez Jr., got to tune in to see. What you think, Rob?
I mean, Vera's going to bring the fight regardless. The only problem is he's too small. We know he's tough. We know he can take punishment. We know he's just going to bring it all to the table. It's another payday against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. It's another chance to prove that he's the better guy. But again, will he be able to land those shots that appeal to the judges, not just in volume, but those very showy, hard shots that Chavez landed on him?
Right.
With Chavez, is he going to make weight? If I'm not mistaken, this is set back in middleweight.
Yeah, we didn't find out until maybe like the week of the fight that he wasn't going to make weight last time, and they bumped it up 4 or 5 weight classes after that. So we're doing this. This is Thursday. We got the weigh-in tomorrow. Maybe he's on track this time.
Yeah, either he's on track and looks good, or he's going to be weight drained, and that gives probably Vera even more of a chance because that's more weight that Chavez is going to pick up, make him more sluggish, and I mean it could hurt him. Yeah. In my opinion, why doesn't he just move up to 168? I know there's killers at 168. I even know there's killers at 175. That may be pushing it, but he's a big guy. And at a certain point, you're not going to be able to shrink him down. I don't care what Alex Ariza says. I don't care what anyone else says. Chavez is 25?
He's young.
He's young, but he's also a full-grown man. Yeah. And at a certain point, that's going to take its toll on him. So they've got to make a decision, 168 or 175. He came into the ring last time at about 180.
He always comes into the ring at about 180. So that's probably his normal weight. He probably is between 180, 200 pounds, and he cuts down. That's a lot of weight to cut down to get down to 160, let alone 168. It's still going to be a struggle for him. And as we see, his highly documented discipline problems will make that even tougher for him.
That's right.
And I don't think he's with Ariza and Garcia anymore because they couldn't match the schedules. So,
well, he's not. But I'm just saying, everyone said they can get him down to 160. Right. And at a certain point, there is no getting down to 160. Just, you need a proper advisor to be like, look, just go to 168. There are fights there.
Right. So, this fight really breaks down to those intangibles that Rob just talked about. We know Chavez is going to be bigger. He's probably going to land the harder shots. But is he going to come in? Did he dedicate himself to this fight the way he should have? And if he did, he should pull away with the victory. Because as much as most of us don't like Chavez, he does have some skills.
That's right. He
can punch, and he did show some learning under Freddie Roach, and some of that stuff moved off onto his other trainers as well. So he is a better fighter than Brian Vera, but if he can't commit himself to the sport, then he's gonna lose. So that's what we're gonna be looking for. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for bearing with me for my voice. It's allergy season. I sound all funny, but it's all good. I appreciate you guys watching. You got anything to say, Rob?
Okay, this is on boxing, but it's another world news note. I don't know if you pay attention to the news and what's going on in Ukraine, but Vitaly Klitschko is really putting himself in the political environment. There's a lot of unrest in Ukraine, possibly leading to civil war if there's not anything done about it. But he is there working hard to try to bring peace to what's going on in the Ukraine between the government and the people. So, I mean, there's kudos to him. I hope they get that taken care of soon. I know he has political aspirations, and this could lead him to showing that he is a leader and not just a boxer and a celebrity.
Yeah, that's right. So, make sure you guys hit us up. If you got any questions, you can hit us up, capitalcombat@gmail.com. You can hit us up on our Facebook page, Capital Combat. Google+, Capital Combat. We got the comment section down below. And while I'm talking about that, let's keep it respectful, people. We know that everything we say, people aren't going to agree with us. Somebody in the comment section, you might not agree with them either. You might not agree with a certain fighter, but what you will do is respect them. And in our forum, you will treat everyone with respect. That goes for Rob and I, that goes for anybody that makes a comment down below, and that goes for all of these fighters that are putting their lives on the line for our entertainment. Now, you can say something disparaging without being disrespectful. Know where that line is, don't cross it, or you will be banned from our channel. That's it for today, guys. Catch you in the next video. Peace.
This is round one, and you've already lost. They don't seem to see that everything we've done is coming and gone. My fists are on fire, I perform till I perspire. My demons are in a rage, keep thinking that it's a game. I kick crime, hurricane. I told them I don't play, I'm liquid.
Black Street Fighter.